This is not controversial.
Wow, okay, let the audience decide that one. Last night we closed the books on the 2023-24 season. Now we spread our wings and fly towards a new year. Here with a rich tapestry of expectations, precedents, and performance is an absolutely insane, way too early 24-25 edition of King of the Hill. You got to stick around.
You know what,
It makes no
America?
sense.
I got to tell you something. I didn't want to do this. I felt it was too early. And Wildes asked me to do it, then made our producer Stephen Hubbard call me on my landline at home this morning to ask me to do it. I thought it was the fire department calling. I didn't even know someone had the number. And I'm like, gosh, it's that important.
Oh, so you're under duress,
and
that's
2
why.
hours later, he's just ripping.
Okay, you be the judge.
You are like,
All right, you tell me. This makes sense.
First, folks who strive to be on the hill next year. It's 20 guys. Derek White, Zion, I'm not going to read them all, but it's people that jump out to you. Kristaps and Derek White, champions striving to get on the hill. Brandon Ingram, Lauri Markkanen, Wildes guy, Şengün, Jalen Green, all of them trying to get on the hill. They are not yet on the hill. Top 28 guys. Here we go. Bottom row of the hill. Tyrese Halliburton. Oh, by the way, the red and green is based on where they were at the All-Star break this season. Our first hill of this season is what it's based off of, not at the end of the year. Halliburton slipped a bit. Jamal Murray's postseason didn't help him. Dame, Doc Rivers going on Simmons' podcast being like, Dame told me he was totally out of shape, that he didn't work out all summer. I'm like, Doc, you're still the coach. What are you doing?
now.
Paolo's right there. Drew moves up, and I'll be honest, this, you want to take issue with this, fine. I didn't know what to do with Ja.
I like Ja here.
You can't not have him on the hill.
He's going to be better, though.
I think he's going to be better than that, but it's also been so long.
Right.
Yep.
I wanted him on the hill. I didn't know where to put him. All right, now we get to the top 21 guys, so call it top 20 for simplicity's sake. Jimmy and Kawhi, man, for one game at peak health, I love them both. But over the course of a season, I don't know what I'm getting from them.
No.
Booker stays where he is. I was impressed by Paul George this year. I thought he played well start to finish. Obviously, Maxey improved his standing, and Kyrie improved his standing greatly from where he was at the All-Star break this year. Now we are to, again, before you reveal it, Hubs, everyone left is a top 15 player, which means they are either a superstar or right on the precipice of it. Fifth row, Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Sorry, as a lifesaver.
They are top 15. They might be right on the fringe of top 10. I don't know how one can argue that they shouldn't be on the same row. I don't know what the problem here possibly is. I know Wildes has been catcalling this all day. Anthony Davis stays where he is. Donovan, I thought, was excellent when he was healthy this year, was excellent in the playoffs. And Wemby, yes, this is projection, but I think next year he is going to be a top 15 guy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think he's going to be the best defensive player in the league.
Top 10.
And so Wemby's, right there. Now to our top 10. I don't know how you move down LeBron or Steph based on the year they had this year. Steph, I guess you could argue the second half of the year went cold, but they were healthy. They were really good. They were the best players on their team. Kevin Durant, I thought, once again, I don't blame the Suns' failures on him. I thought he was really good. And Jalen Brunson was spectacular from start to finish and finished 5th in MVP voting. Third row, two obvious ones. Shea and Anthony Edwards, two guys who it looked like a month ago, are they going to carry their teams to the finals at that age? Not quite, but excellent playoff runs for both of them. Joel Embiid is, to me, the most difficult player in the league to rank. If someone says he's the 4th best player in the league, they can make a case for it. If someone says there are 20 guys I'd rather have if my goal is to win a championship and have them from game 1 to game 100, I'm like, well, I guess. So I don't know what to do with that. That is a very hard ranking because he could be anywhere on it. And then the top two rows don't really need explanation. Luka and Giannis stay exactly where Giannis moves down from where it was at the All-Star break. Because
Was Giannis one?
I had Giannis one at the All-Star break. And then atop the hills, Nikola Jokic. A sneaky winner of these NBA Finals because no one now can claim someone has ascended past him. Luka was going to need to have to win the title to even make it an argument. That is a cogent, thoughtful, impeccable king of the hill. There is not controversy the way Wildes was trying to argue. I almost feel like I should be wearing this crown during the segment. Brew, go ahead.
It was cogent, thoughtful, and erroneous. All right. Jalen Brunson, and I never thought, and I love Jalen Brunson.
Clearly
I covered
not.
his dad, Rick, when he played.
Did you?
Was he good?
Why don't you ever?
No, he was a journeyman, but what
did he look like
I
in
like
Summer League?
Jalen.
What did
he
he look like in Summer League?
Jason Kidd. He looked like Jason Kidd in Summer League. I never thought Nick Wright would fall for the Big Apple in the tailpipe.
The big.
The Big Apple in the tailpipe. The big New York.
Yeah, I got it.
Everything is magnified in New York.
Yeah.
If Jalen, who had a great year and a fantastic run in the playoffs to the second round where they lost to a young Indiana Pacers team, had done that in Sacramento, he wouldn't have got as much love.
Are you fine with SGA?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because SGA is better.
But,
just eye test.
SGA
And he's 6'5".
Okay.
And he can score at will, and he can shoot. He shoots over 50%. Like SGA is just a better. And defensively, SGA gets after it. I mean,
the reason I mentioned SGA was because they both carried a team to the second round and then lost to a young team. That's the point I'm making.
Well, the Dallas, got one of the best players in the world. I think Luka's better than Tyrese Halliburton. But so I got no problem with them losing to Dallas. But this is prisoner of the moment. He's a one-time All-Star who took a team to the second round,
okay
and again lost to a very young team.
Are you okay with where Wemby is? Is that prisoner of the
moment?
moment?
Are you comparing Wemby to
well,
Wemby's Wemby's 7'5".
You said one-time All-Star
come on.
versus
No, you're not helping yourself.
I'm not.
Wemby's 7'5", and when they let him play 35 minutes a game in the last month of the season, he averaged 25, 13, 7 assists, and 5.5 blocks.
Okay.
What are we talking about?
Okay, well, if we go ahead.
So I think the whole fifth row is better than Brunson.
The whole fifth row?
The whole fifth row is better. So move Brunson down. If I have to move just one up, I'm moving Tatum ahead of Brunson.
Wow.
I think, like I said, I think that whole row is better than him. AD was better than LeBron this year because you play both sides of the court. And so I think, but my main thing is, look, with all due respect to Brunson,
there was no due respect
great
there.
player, but that's just way too high.
He gave no respect.
He's not a top 10
So a few
player.
clarifications before I show a number or some numbers here. I understand the King of the Hill in King of the Hill is tall. But this is not a ranking of the tallest players.
No, but it comes into so are you saying Jalen's as good as SGA?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
no,
then what's the issue?
Which is why he's not on the same
Height
row as
does
SGA.
have an effect
I
on
was
basketball.
mentioning the height thing because with Wemby, the first thing you said is he's 7'5". But
but that plays that's a factor.
So here's the thing about here's Jalen Brunson in the playoffs this year with a team that was ravaged by injuries. First in points, fourth in assists. And
ball always in his hands. That's Tibbs. It's the same thing he did with Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose wasn't a top 10 guy?
No, Derrick Rose was fine, but Derrick Rose, I think, had the pedigree that Jalen Brunson didn't have.
Oh, now we're doing who doesn't like when we talk pedigree? Brock
This
Purdy.
is so Big Apple in the tailpipe.
I'll tell you that much right now. Wildes?
Well, here's why I have the exact opposite complaint.
What?
He's claiming you're prisoner of the moment. I'm claiming you're not prisoner of the moment enough.
You know what that means?
Tatum
exactly
and
right.
Jaylen Brown need the champion bounce. They need the champion.
Why does it just say Tatum?
Because when I looked at it, I didn't know where Jaylen Brown was going to be there.
So
he deserves the champion bounce too.
So
but I focused most of it on Tatum.
I want to see where. Okay, I'm waiting for the bounce.
You can put him. I didn't put him anywhere. It's not on the bud list.
Well, you got to put him somewhere.
I'll
Where's
switch
he
him with
going?
Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards?
Yeah, Anthony Edwards, who played Luka and lost.
There's no transitive property in sports.
That's all we talk about is transitive property.
No, oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, so then so Luka's better than Joker. Because Joker lost to Anthony Edwards and Luka beat Anthony Edwards.
I don't know. Last night, I saw Luka playing in the NBA Finals and Joker on a court in Serbia with normal-looking, orthodontist-looking guys doing nothing.
So Luka's better than Joker.
Right now, he is, yes. Prisoner of the moment, yes.
Okay, all right.
What are we doing?
He's in the finals. What are we doing?
Ball. Wow, this is your day. This is your day. I'm sitting for you on a tee, and this is what you do?
We're just talking about how tall guys are.
God. I mean, come on. Wow.
So where,
first team All-NBA.
I don't know where
Was
you're
Anthony
at.
Edwards first team All-NBA?
No.
You spent the first part of the show ripping Jayson Tatum.
I wasn't ripping him.
He didn't play well.
He's
Now
carrying
you want him
around
to
the
be a
Larry
top
O'Brien.
five?
What's the point of being LeBob if you got LeBob and you can't move up
It's
the hill?
S5.
Why?
Tatum wins. Can I show you one graphic Josh made before it goes off the rails? Tallest guys on the hill.
Is that off the rails already?
Playoff wins in the last 2 years. LeBron, Steph, KD, and Giannis and Embiid combined.
I like that. This is coaching.
All right, so
good.
here's my question. Hey, I made the same graphic, and everything's the exact same except Jaylen Brown standing where Tatum is.
Sure.
So how are we elevating?
They can both go.
All right.
I just had
so show the hill again.
Attention.
Show the hill again.
LeBron's had AD.
Yes, no, that's fine.
Tatum and Brown up.
Tatum and Brown up
I'm
to where?
sorry, SGA and Anthony Edwards down.
Okay.
They get the champion bounce. The day after the finals, you deserve the champion bounce.
At least that was consistent. My struggle was I don't think right now you can make the argument that Tatum and Brown are on different tiers as players.
That's fair.
You can make the argument that one is better, than the other, but now they're in different tiers. So if you want to argue that those two guys need to be moved up one tier or two tiers, so be it. But then you got to move down not just one person, two people. So I get what you're saying. I don't think the gap between them exists at this moment, which is not an indictment on Tatum as much as a compliment to Brown for what he's done. Meanwhile, Brew doesn't like short people.
No, not at all.
Unbelievable.
I'm the shortest guy on this show.
Well, yeah, a little projection here, a little
some
Napoleon complex going on. I don't know, man. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.